How many of you would like to do something over? You know, just one of those things in your life that either you have done that you regret or somebody's done something to you and you just would like to have a do-over. Yeah. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we could just delete some of these things in our lives? Like a judge strikes testimony from court records. Wouldn't that just be so amazing? Yeah. I mean, honestly, life is certainly not easy. There's pain. There's a lot of pain in life. But you know, there are many amazing, beautiful things in life as well. But it's the pain that's the difficult part, right? Absolutely. Truth is, life is hard. Life is hard. And in John 16:33, Jesus tells us that we will face many trials. We will have lots of sorrow in this life. Now, I'm not sure what your story is, but my story was certainly not something that I ever really wanted to accept, to be honest. I didn't want to accept my story. I honestly wanted to write my own story. And there's just so many things that I would have wanted to strike from the record of my life. You know, like a judge, I could just strike certain things from the record of my life, like all the little struggles growing up, I'd strike that. My sister's disabilities, I'd strike that. All my little poor and big poor decisions, I would strike those. My parents' divorce, I'd strike that. The terrible complications during my pregnancy, I'd strike that. The anxiety, the depression, the darkness that threatened to pull me under, I'd strike that. All the times that I hurt others and the times that others hurt me, I would strike that. And my dad's murder, I would most certainly strike that. You know, I wanted to write my own story because here's the thing. My story was not how I wanted it to be. It wasn't going so well. It was not going as planned. I'm a planner, and I like to plan things, and my plan was not working out. Just was not working out. I remember sitting at the park after my dad had died, the week after he died, and I was just sitting there wrestling with my new reality. I had lived an amazing childhood, but all of a sudden I was struck by tragedy, and I didn't know what to do with it. I had no idea what to do with it, and that phrase or sentence, I guess it would be, that everything happens for a reason, came into my mind. And honestly, I was angry. I was angry. And I did not want to believe that there could be I couldn't believe that anything good could come out of my dad's murder. And so I cried and I said, what good could come out of this? For years, I thought that any good in my life would happen in spite of my past. Not as a result of it. Not as a result of it. But I had grossly underestimated the redemptive power of God. Now, I know that Romans 8:28 can be something that is worn out in our church. It is something that we see and we hear it so much that it can just become kind of dull to us. But it's powerful and it's true. It is absolutely true. And ultimately, what Romans 8:28 says is, it says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. You know, there is purpose in our pain. There's certain things that come to us, things that we just don't want to have to deal with, but there's purpose to our pain. Nothing is wasted by our God. Nothing. Right. We serve a God who redeems our losses, a God who knows our pain, who sits with us in it, who collects our tears in a bottle, who loves us, who knows us, and who purposes at using every bit of it for good, for our good and his glory. Now, we have many trials. Every trial that we go through, every heartache, every pain, you can rest assured that it will be used. It absolutely will be used. Yes, Jesus tells us that we will have many trials and we will have sorrow in this world. That is a guarantee. But he says in John 16:33, he says, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. And let me tell you, I no longer want to strike anything from the testimony of my life.